What's up? Welcome back to another proven sales letter breakdown video. My name is Csaba. I'm the founder of Game of Conversions, and for 100 days, I'm breaking down proven sales letters from the best copywriters of all time in all sorts of niches, just so that you can also learn the mastery of this whole copywriting thing and look into the true persuasion psychology behind how people actually make decisions, and do it in a way that has been a secret so far, because all these promotions, they generated millions and millions of dollars when they were run, but nobody's really broken down like this. Okay, so my mission with this is to actually create the biggest library on YouTube of such copywriting breakdowns, and hopefully you can join me on this journey. So in the past few days, I focused on Clayton Makepeace, a legendary copywriter who basically invented a lot of the things that we still use today in this craft. And I wanted to focus on him because a few days ago was his death anniversary. So I figured, why not do like 3-4 proven sales letter breakdowns, breaking down his stuff actually. So today I got another Clayton Makepeace video for you. And this one's a little different because, you know, in most cases when I break down these videos, I talk about how important copy is, and it is, okay? So it's, in most cases, it's definitely more important than design. Your message is the thing that converts people into buyers, okay? It's not the design, it's not the layout, it's not the flashy pictures of videos or something like that. It's your messaging. And then good design is definitely important, but it just complements these things, okay? So if you have a solid copy, a solid sales letter, or like video script or something like that, well, we're not talking about videos, but like you have a good sales page, let's say, and you can complement that with good design that works hand in hand with the copy, then they multiply each other. But if your copy is bad, then no amount of design could actually increase your conversions. And I wanted to choose this specific promotion that Clayton wrote. It's called Sweet Indulgences, because this one really combines copy with drop dead gorgeous pictures of cakes, okay? And what do people want, especially in the target audience that we're focusing on right now, who are probably like middle-aged people who maybe struggle with weight, maybe they don't, I don't know exactly at this point, but what do most people want? They want to eat cake, they want to eat dessert, okay? They want to experience the joy of binge eating sometimes. Delicious stuff, fatty stuff, stuff that, you know, tastes good but makes you fat and makes you unhealthy. They want to eat this cake, they want to eat this one, they want to eat this one. And just by looking at these pictures, to be honest, you know, I'm starting to get hungry, even though I do intermittent fasting, and it's like 9:45 here, so it's in the morning. But look at these things, like cakes and nice pastas and everything. So the good thing about this, and the main lesson that I want you to take away from this video is that sometimes when you're selling a product, because this is basically selling a cookbook, okay? And it also has like a free trial, but whenever you're selling something like this, it's very important that you tap into the existing desires of your target audience. What do most people want deep down inside? They want to eat cake, okay? They don't really want to buy your weight loss program or your weight loss recipe book or something like that, because it's a sacrifice for them, okay? They don't want that. They ultimately want to eat cake. Now, it's another story that sometimes when they're desperate enough and you can convey a good enough transformation, you can paint the picture how their lives are going to change after your boring but healthy cookbook on eating broccoli, you know, sometimes they buy that because they're desperate. They want to lose weight. Maybe they have health problems. Maybe, you know, they're afraid of having a heart attack or something like that. They will buy it, but it's a way harder sell than selling them a cookbook on, you know, recipes on these delicious desserts. And even to this day, you know, most, like paleo sweets, for example, a great example. There's this company called Paleohacks. They're crushing it on cold traffic, and they have various cookbooks on sweets and on some of these indulgence foods as well, only that they're angled from a paleo perspective. Now this one, it's a bit outdated because it's angled from a low fat perspective. But think about it, you know, nowadays we have paleo and we have keto, which are the dominant type of dietary strategies, let's say. So we have low carb nowadays. But 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it was low fat. And you know, all these things changed. Like, who knows where the real magic of this thing happens? Who knows what really contributes to weight loss? There are scientific studies and journals in each side. You know, I'm more of a low carb type of person, more paleo and everything. But like, you can find 1,000 scientific studies that say low carb, and you can find 1,000 scientific studies that say low fat. Okay, so seasons change, but the copywriting, the persuasion aspect of it doesn't change. So you can basically just substitute the low carb stuff here, like the low fat stuff here, into low carb stuff, and something like this could still work really well even to this day. So I just wanted to bring that out, because as copywriters, you know, we don't just write, we do the marketing strategy itself in many cases. And you have to know the list, you have to know the offer, you have to know the target audience, and you have to know the product itself that you're selling. And Clayton very smartly recognized that people want sweet indulgences, okay? And they, together with the designers and everyone, created like this recipe book type of thing. And notice the design and everything, it's definitely aimed at housewives. It has this the fonts and everything is just like a recipe book that paints the dream, that makes them salivate. That's all about desire. This is all about desire, and I think that's the reason why it was so super effective. But let's see what's happening here, because it's not your traditional type megalog type of copywriting, where you have a lot of fascinations and you have you know, you paint the problem, you agitate the problem. This is more of a desire building bonanza. Okay, so people will be salivating after this, but it has tons of great NLP copywriting elements in it as well. This NLP stands for neuro linguistic programming. So basically you're hypnotizing people with these words and these images. But let's just jump in. So it says, it starts with, in this issue, a chocoholic's dream come true. So already it's like painting the dream, right? And you have just a lot of bullets, but they're not the typical type of fascinations, because they just build desire. So chocolate marble cheesecake with chocolate crumb crust looks and tastes like 427 calories, really is only 222 calories and only 6 grams of fat. So people want this. This kind of teases like there's a unique mechanism inside, like how can it be? How can something so delicious have half the calories, right? And only 6 grams of fat. So this is an objection handling element here, because back in those days, people wanted low fat whenever it was possible. Or like macaroon-filled chocolate cupcakes. Tastes like 221 guilty calories, really is just 116 calories. So on the surface, this just seemed like a description of something, but think deeper. Think about the dominant and core emotion that this is appealing to. Like, many people, they want to eat. People want to eat cake. I want to eat cake, okay? But we feel guilty. We feel a lot of shame and guilt around eating these types of things. And Clayton even says it. He says, tastes like 221 guilty calories. Well, what if there was a way that you could get the same sexy cake, but from only 116 calories, right? You could be this girl here, like an attractive middle-aged woman who's eating this big-ass cake. She's smiling, she's happy. Obviously, you want to be like her, right? She looks good. She has strong, like healthy hair. She doesn't have many wrinkles. And you, as the target audience, who are probably like a middle-aged woman, you want to be like this person, okay? And now you can. I am giving you the promise, the transformation, that you can have it all. You can have sweet indulgences, and you don't have to sacrifice your health and your body in order to do it. That's the core promise that we're doing here, that Clayton actually is doing here. Well, check this out. Chocolate bread pudding, rum, raisins, chocolate cinnamon, and good for you. Wow. Very interesting, right? It subverts expectations. Cinnamon cocoa bars taste like 362 calories. Really, it's 161 calories, zero cholesterol. Again, people were afraid to death from cholesterol back in those days, and it seems like everything was about calories. Even to this day, like, many people obsess about calories when we know nowadays that not all calories are created equal, okay? Some calories, like if you bring in calories from sugar, obviously it's different that you bring in calories from like coconut milk or something, okay? So it's different. But notice the copywriting. It's all about building desire and countering an objection, because this is producing desire in people. This is making them believe that there's a way to fulfill their dreams once again. It's very strong. It's very, very, very strong. And then after you have all these teases and nice pictures, obviously, you have much more in your free copy of Make Room for Dessert. So we have a little tease that they're gonna get something for free. So after all these desire, people start associating this book with that nice feeling of, oh my God, I'm gonna be able to eat my cake and not feel guilty about it. And then we start Sweet Indulgences. I love the headline. Chocolate swirl cheesecake with chocolate crumb crust. Silky smooth and satisfying. Notice all the very, very visual and evocative words. I've thought about this many times before in my previous sales data breakdown videos. And by the way, I'm going to leave a link to the entire playlist of these videos. So far, there are 61 videos, so it's already a massive library. You should definitely check it out. There's stuff from Clayton there. There's stuff from Eugene Schwartz, John Carlton, Gary Halbert, Gary Bensevenga, Mel Martin, Paris Lampropoulos, David Deutsch, all the biggest copywriters that you can think of. And make sure to check it out, because it's a copywriting goldmine that you can learn for free. And if you appreciate these things, then I also appreciate you to hit the like button below this video. It helps out a ton with YouTube's algorithm. And also, if you're new to the channel and you've stumbled here from someplace on the internet, then consider subscribing, because I'm releasing these videos daily. And if you subscribe and also click the little notification icon below, then you'll be the first to know when I release a new video like this. And maybe you're gonna have your own sweet indulgences. So make sure to do that right now. And once you're done with it, let's continue with this breakdown. So the most important thing here to remember is that people, when they think, our brains have evolved to be very visual. It's no wonder why we are visual creatures, okay? We get turned on by visual signals. We navigate our world based on visual signals most of the time. And, it's a scientific fact from a psychology point of view and from a neurology point of view that, if we see something, the same brain areas in the back of your head get triggered as if you are imagining something, So there's no difference neurologically in this regard. So that's the reason why if you start writing words which are evocative, which paint pictures, they don't tell how good this is, but instead they paint a picture. People immediately start visualizing it. They create so-called mental representations about these things, and they get into this trance type of thing. So that's why it's so important to do this in copywriting or in branding or any other place, because that's why you have if you've seen a car commercial, even though it's not direct response marketing, it's more like brand marketing, but when you see that, it's all about making you imagine yourself in that Mercedes or in that BMW or in that special car, okay? It's all about trying to convey the feeling, the visual feeling of how you would actually be if you own the car. And it's very similar what Clayton is doing here when he says chewy, gooey chocolate brownies that melt in your mouth. Like, I can really visualize the feeling of eating brownies. And I love brownies, by the way. And the chewier, the gooier they are, the better for me. And now I just want to go out to the store and buy a freaking brownie. That's how powerful this is. Sinfully moist chocolate layer cake with rich, creamy frosting. Sinfully moist. It has that little tension in it as well. And this is, once again, Clayton, it just shows that Clayton is on the next level, because he realizes that people, they don't just want to eat good stuff, but they have various emotions associated to these things, like guilt, like sin, like shame, like feeling like a fraud or something like that, even in many cases. And he knows this, and he says sinfully moist with rich creamy frosting, but like half a calorie. So once again, it gives people a new hope. Sweet, sumptuous apple and blueberry pies bursting with flavor. Like you can imagine it. So I'm sure that you understand what I'm going for here. The name of the game with these things is to really show and not tell, because this is what people really want to hear, want to read. And then you obviously put the recipe book next to this, because people start associating the good feelings that they're starting to feel from this with the recipe book itself. Okay, and then there's a little call to action under it by saying, savor them all and 46 more scandalously delicious delicacies guilt-free. Like, what else do you want as a promise? Scandalously delicious delicacies guilt-free. It has its alliteration to it. So this is next level copy, guys. Once again, this is next level. So let's just read the lead itself here, because the lead is the first few hundred words of a promotion, and its job is to get people interested. It builds even more emotional rapport, it builds desire, and it gets them to read more of your stuff, because the more of the stuff they read, the higher the chance that they're actually convert. So let's just read this one and then move forward. So it starts with, the miracle working chefs at Prevention cordially invite you to immerse yourself in all the sweet, sensuous flavor of the world's most elegant desserts. So this is an invitation to you. It's like, these guys, look at them, how nice they are, okay? And they look good as well. They invite you to join them in their secret. So then we continue. Go right ahead. Lose yourself in dreamy applesauce cake with cream cheese frosting. Or treat yourself to devilish raspberry cake oozing with rich, dark chocolate. And never give a moment's thought to what these sinfully delicious desserts are doing to your waistline. Why? So, wow, it's like, this is the embodiment of the paint the dream type of technique in copywriting. People, like a lot of people at this point, they're hypnotized. They're salivating right now, and you've already converted some of them just with these three paragraphs here. But then we got to tease to the unique mechanism, because you can't just say, hey, these are better, but these say, this one's starting to explain, why you can indulge all these delicacies risk-free and guilt-free, okay? And even to this day, like, guilt-free, I think it still works in the weight loss or in the like food niche. Whenever you can say guilt-free, people can still associate with that. So then we continue. Why? Because we've removed most of the fat and calories. So that's the unique mechanism there. We've removed the fat and the calories. And in an age when people want to hear that everything is low fat and low calories, like, this is music to their ears. So once again, as a good copywriter, Clayton is just giving people what they want to hear, based on research, obviously. So then we continue. Not only that, we've packed each delicious mouthful with unbelievable flavor. And now we want to send you all 50 dessert masterpieces free. Imagine sinking your teeth into a chewy, gooey fudge sundae cake roll. Think about the rich, mouth-pleasing texture, the fudgy, chocolatey flavor. It may taste like 1,000,000 calories. It may have the same luxurious texture of a 281 calorie dietary bombshell. It may have the mouthfeel of a dessert that's absolutely loaded with fat. But don't forget, you got this scandalously delicious recipe from Prevention, and we removed 100 calories and 80% of the fat. Please turn. So you can have it all, finally. Like, your neglecting lifestyle is over. You can experience the pleasure of eating both these things and staying healthy. Now, obviously, it's more complicated than that in real life, but we have the same type of messaging today with paleo. So the unique mechanism changed, but the messaging itself hasn't changed. And that's the reason why I'm breaking this down, and I would like you to understand how good copy is eternal, because human psychology doesn't really change. The context changes, unique mechanisms and trends and political climates change, but like the same type of paint the dream imagery and copy still works to this day, and you still see very similar stuff from the best copywriters of today, just with the different unique mechanism. That's it, seriously. So please turn. We have a little authority build up and introduction of these people, like who they are, just to give them some credibility. And then we continue with even more indulgences. So I'm just gonna skim through these mouth-watering dessert treats to tempt you, taste your taste buds, tease your taste buds, and satisfy your sweet tooth. So everything is very, very evocative. Chewy brownies. These chocolatey treats have only 167 calories and 0 cholesterol. Whatever you do, don't tell your kids how healthy they are. Nice. What a cool, funny type of addition here, because in most cases, kids, they want to eat unhealthy stuff. They don't want to eat their broccoli, right? Obviously, nobody especially likes broccoli, but they do like brownies, and this just showcases how good these brownies are. Applesauce cake with cream cheese frosting, spicy cinnamon and nutmeg with plus raisins and chopped walnuts. Looks like 450 calories. Really is only 202 calories and less than 4 grams of fat. So notice how specific this is. It makes it credible, right? It seems like people have measured this. It seems like these almost like food scientists have, went into their labs and they measured everything, and now they've discovered a new secret that they're now willing to share with you for free. Like, how could you not want this? Right? So the pleasure's all yours. Remember when delicious, rich, creamy desserts were a satisfying part of your everyday life? Now you can relive those delicious, carefree days with your free copy of Make Room for Dessert. Thanks to Prevention's Kitchen Magicians, there's no reason to deprive yourself of all these sensuous textures. So we go on and on and on with this. It's all paint the dream, banana glaze. Notice the pictures as well. It's like they're bursting with flavor, they're bursting with colors, and our brains are hardwired to be receptive to these things. Because think about it, like back in several tens of thousands of years ago, people were foraging for berries, and whenever we got something that was colorful, it was associated with something sweet, something like a fruit or something, which meant that you had to eat it immediately, because otherwise it would spoil. Something else would eat it, it would rot, it would, just disappear. And our brains, as a result, are hardwired to be more receptive to these types of colors. And also red, it symbolizes a lot of other things, but you can feel I think that as people are reading this, even as I'm reading it and analyzing it, I can feel a little bit of tension inside me, okay? I want it. That's what I feel. And good copy is all about feeling. And then, after desserts, we switch to pastas, because people, they love pastas. I mean, we are once again hardwired to combine fat with carbohydrates, because that was a great combination when food was definitely scarce. So whenever our ancestors could get their hands on some carbs with fat, they did it, because it meant survival for them. So that's why we also present pastas here, rich, creamy sauces. Like a few days ago, I was cooking some type of pasta, and when I was searching for recipes, I got the same messaging. All the highest rated videos on YouTube, for example, all had these keywords in them: rich, creamy Alfredo, or something like that. Rich, creamy sauces. Rich, full-bodied flavor is back. Forbidden foods, like this has that little tension that I talked to you about. So scandalously delicious dessert. So it combines that little tension with the desire aspect of it. Live a gourmet's life dining on these delicious low-fat pastas and sauces, free for 21 days. Pastas and sauces. So you also get this. And, you know, you have even more, like thick, creamy sauces ladled over steaming beds of flavorful pasta. Man, it's even hard to read these because my mind is wandering away, and it's like it's almost hypnotizing me. So I'm telling you, it's hard to read these things actually. But as people are reading it, you know, to themselves, it's still like this puts them into a different state, okay? And they are more receptive to the messaging that the rest of the copy conveys. Mouth-watering favorites like these in just 15 minutes or less. Now, I want to bring in an important point here, which is, as we're talking about desserts and delicious foods and pasta and everything, there's an instant gratification element to it. And Clayton knows this, and that's why he also brings in this 15 minutes or less element, because it just highlights the instant gratification aspect even more. Because people want to have these foods immediately. Like, they see these cakes, they see these pastas, and they're like, wow, I want it right now, okay? Because I'm starving right now. I wanna satisfy myself right now. So that's why it's important to showcase that these aren't just like delicious and healthy, they're also very, very quick to prepare. And this once again converts a lot of people, because people want instant gratification. That's what they want deep down inside. Now, some of them, or in many cases, they know that it's not really possible, but that's what they desire deep down inside. So delicious, they'll never dream it's good for them. Now, this is the big objection handling part, which is all about calories. It has a lot of specifics, as you can see. And the reason for this whole page is because a lot of people at this point feel like, oh my God, like these really are good, but like I can't believe they are so low calorie, and I cannot allow myself to indulge in these things because I'm gonna become fat and I'm gonna become unhealthy, you know. So I have to stay strong, right? But then we have this objection handling element by saying so delicious they'll never dream it's actually good for them. So it's aimed at the kids actually, but ultimately we all know that these things are this is the messaging that our target audience wants to hear, but by angling it from their kids, you know, we're actually defeating their built-in protection mechanisms, because a lot of them still feel like, oh, what if this is bullshit? What if I cannot allow myself to do this? Because, you know, a lot of people, they've been conditioned to feel shame and to feel guilt when they eat stuff like this, especially as they're getting older and older. But by saying, you know, your kids will never believe it's actually good for them, and this is actually good for your child, so give it to your child. They're gonna love it, they're gonna love you, and you can also indulge yourself in this. So, and then that's probably the reason why you also have this picture of our target audience here. Once again, a middle-aged woman who has children and who has to like cook for the family, and she's always wondering what to cook, which is both delicious, my husband likes it, my kid likes it, but also I like it, but it's still healthy at the same time. So we're combining all these things into one. Dazzle them with smoked turkey carbonara. So this is probably for the husband. It's the same time it takes to make ordinary spaghetti. So, you know, people love carbonara. Once again, it combines fat with carbs. You know, like who doesn't like bacon? A lot of people love bacon, but they feel guilty eating it because it's all fat and it's all saturated fat, which is like the antichrist in these times when this promotion was written. To this, like nowadays, if you're on keto, you can eat all the bacon you want. So, and people still love it, but you know, if you put this picture in front of people who love bacon and they love carbonara, I mean, they're gonna want it, obviously. But then you have all these nutrition info. It's like just 347 calories, only 8.5 grams of fat, a mere 22 of your calories from fat, and only 2 minutes, 20 minutes in the kitchen. So like boom, boom, boom. It's a I would say a triple threat. There's this saying called a triple threat, but this is like a quad threat. Okay, quad threat, because it's delicious, it's not fattening at all, it has low fat, which people want to hear, and it's ready very quickly. So like boom, it's very effective. And then check this out. You have the delicious way to better health. So you have specific well, not recipes, but like breakdowns. This seems very scientific. It has a lot of tables. Like it's almost like somebody made this in Excel and they really calculated it. They measured it. They measured everything. It doesn't say 7 grams of fat. It says 6.9 grams of fat. So it's super specific. Okay, and then refreshing and light, elegant gourmet salads to adorn your table. So now we have salads as well. Look at this. If you get this, you're gonna be like this happy couple. They're doing salads together. Everybody wants that. It's the dream, okay? There are some promos that appeal to the financial sides of people, financial promos that talk about how your lifestyle will change if you get rich. Actually, one of the first sales letter breakdowns that I did was about international living from Bill Bonner, the guy who started the Agora companies, which is like a several billion-dollar company at this point. And in that, the entire lead was made up of like paint the dream style text, which talked about how your life looks like when you're super rich. And then the rest of the promotion talked about how to actually get rich. And this is very similar, this promotion. It's just that it talks about how your life will look like when you eat based on the recipe book that I want to send you. And then check this out. Test your cooking IQ. How to spice things up a bit, right? Because at this point, we're doing the same things, okay? It's all about like desire-based language. But at this point, it's just like a little quiz, okay? So did you know there's a bunch of like random fun facts, random trivia here that people, like, it makes them wonder, wow, I didn't know that. It reframes and shifts some of their pre-existing false beliefs, because a lot of people might feel like, oh, I like yogurt, but like I'm afraid it has too much fat. Well, no, because now you can create like a low-fat version of it. Or like, I don't know, fettuccine is made with eggs and has more fat than spaghetti. So many people feel like, oh, okay, so I should eat fettuccine. But like, whoa, actually I should get low-carb spaghetti, right? So since then, science has proven that it's not exactly the case, but from a copywriting perspective, this is what people want to hear, and this is what the research at that time showed. So I'm absolutely confident that Clayton, he didn't want to like screw people up with this. He honestly believed that this was the truth, and all the scientific journals and papers at that time were basically saying the same thing, that fat is the thing and cholesterol is the thing that causes you to have heart problems and that causes you to be fat. Nowadays, we have a different paradigm about this, but this might also change. Who knows, 20 years from now, what will be the dominant fad diet, because they always change. And then we're getting closer to the end. Feast on your favorite forbidden foods completely without guilt. This is the promise. Meal so simple to prepare, cleans ups a breeze. So you also have these little clocks, and they also have the font of most digital clocks. Like, notice the little subtle details here, okay? These seem like a digital clock, and they really put the whole process into perspective, okay? It dimensionalizes everything, and this is one of the key things that Clayton did really well, is that he was really good in dimensionalizing things. He didn't just describe the features and benefits. He actually took the time to explain and to let people actually imagine how their life will look like after they get the product. So this is like, hey, at 5:20 you I don't know, get the ingredients that you need for this. Then you chop things up, and then in 20 minutes it's super ready. Then in like 15 minutes later you put it in your dishwasher, and then you can go out in 5 minutes later to have a bike ride or something. So all in all, it takes less than an hour for the complete thing, like getting the ingredients, cooking it, cleaning it, everything. Once again, this is what people want. They want delicious, they want simple, they want free, they want quick, they want effective, okay? Even to this day, something like this would definitely work. So you can just copy this if you have some type of health or food-based product. A healthy way to trim your budget too. So not only is it like, think about it, like where Gary Bencivenga used to say that copywriting is salesmanship multiplied. So good copywriters are like good salesmen, okay? And that's why you should get commissions as well based on their performance eventually. But in order to convert people, you gotta deconstruct their objections. And notice as we go through this promotion, each specific section is actually deconstructing an objection that people have. So in the beginning, we hook them emotionally with good pictures and with like chocolate and dessert, because that's what they want to hear, like dessert, right? How to eat dessert without feeling guilty. That's how they get hooked. And the first objection that we answer is like, hey, you can have dessert and stay healthy at the same time. This is what this first thing is about. Then we go into, you can also have pasta, which is rich and full of flavor and creamy without feeling guilty. Okay, cool. And you can also do it quickly. So this is another big objection, because people feel like, oh, in order to do gourmet level meals, I gotta cook for hours and I don't have time for that, I'm so busy. Well, this answered that objection. Then as we move forward, we at some point, some people might feel like, people in our target audience, women, might feel like, okay, but like my children would probably never eat that or something like that. But no, they're gonna be all over it and it's gonna be delicious for them. Okay, another objection answered. And then, dazzle them with smoked turkey carbonara. So this is just a little insert to with a very specific example. So I like this because sometimes you gotta give people a specific example so that they actually can imagine it way better, way easier. Then you have the objection of like calories, counting calories, like, hey, check this out, like regular and our version. Regular, our version. This just, showcases how the product itself is different and better and superior to everything else on the market. This kind of establishes the uniqueness of the product itself, which you should always do in your own marketing funnels as well. Then we have salads. We can also have healthy and great salads. This is just a little, once again, an insert that makes people more engaged in reading even more of this stuff. Then we have the forbidden foods. Once again, this answers another objection that they have, is that there are certain foods that it might be that you have a healthier version, but they're still forbidden foods, so I shouldn't eat them, right? Because my doctor said so. Well, no, now you can feast. You don't just eat it, you can feast on your favorite forbidden foods completely without guilt. So this, once again, reframes an objection that they have. And then there's this one, once again, about quickness, because people want quick, they want effective. And this reframes their rejection of like feeling like, oh, so in order to get these good foods and healthy foods, I gotta spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Well, no. And here's a dimensionalized breakdown of how your life is actually going to look like once you get this recipe book. And then it's also cheap, like, because at this point, the last major objection that people will feel like will have is that, yeah, but these should be really expensive because I have to use very expensive ingredients for this, right? Well, no, it's actually cheap. So, and you have like the breakdown, a very scientific type of breakdown with specifics on how this will look like. So it's really, really next level. And then you have the product itself, this free gift certificate, this free book actually with all the little bonuses and everything. I notice it looks like looks just like a cookbook. Like it's no different. It doesn't look like a marketing type of promotion, and the whole sales letter itself looks like almost like a cookbook. So it says a treasury of healthy cooking ideas from the world's pickiest chefs. So world's pickiest chefs. It assumes that all the recipes inside are the best of the best. Okay. Once again, very important. And then you have the sign off from people from these food scientists. You know, it's gonna be so delicious, you want to eat more and more of it, and it has that little almost sexual tension in it, you know. And it's a pro tip, but food often has a lot to do with sex. You know, you feel the same type of guilt and shame around it many times, and you still want to indulge in it, just like with sex. And I think subconsciously people will feel the sexual tension between these people, and they will associate it with the benefits and desires of the product itself. So one more thing I want to mention here is that there's a unique fast action bonus here, because it says in the PS, 50 lucky people will also receive the Cuisinart hand blender, a $70 value free. The first person from each state to say yes to this offer gets one free. So it's a really high value bonus that people can get if they act right now. So I'm curious how this went, but even to this day you see something like this, in that if people sign up to your course on the first day, for example, or on the webinar, then they get a really valuable fast action bonus, like another course or something like that. So this is just to knock them off the fence. And it makes sense. Don't hesitate, mail your free gift certificate now. And notice how it's called free gift certificate. You even have like detailed instructions with pictures here on how to actually mail this, what's gonna happen. It just lowers people's objections and uncertainty that they experience whenever they have to request something like this. You know, it's like merchandise return label. So this is already like already there. You just have to cut it out. You just have to mail it back and you get your free gift. Cool. So this was the envelope. This is also included here. It says, and notice like a lot of people would probably open this because you have the face that's looking with like, it has a little bit of sexy vibes to it, but like it also has the cake. So it's definitely appealing. Rich, full-bodied flavor is back. Rich, creamy sauces, forbidden foods like beef, pork, even sausage, and scandalously delicious desserts. Here's how you can enjoy them all without worrying about your health or your waistline. Plus, a free gift from the editors of Prevention magazine. And then you have this casserole here. So yeah, I think it was pretty effective. It definitely gets people's attention. They just want to open it because it doesn't seem like a marketing pitch, right? It seems like something that builds desire in them. There's no call to action like buy now. You just get a free gift and you can enjoy all these things. So that's a great copywriting lesson to learn from this one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I may have gotten a cold or something like that, probably not COVID. So that's why my voice and my, it was a little bit harder to talk in this video. Sorry about that if sometimes I stumble with my words, but I definitely hope that you enjoyed this sales letter breakdown. It's a little bit different, but this is a masterclass on how to do visual advertising and how to paint the dream of people, because this is what they want to hear, and this is what ultimately makes your conversions go way, way, way up. And thank you so much for Clayton Makepeace for getting this out in the world and changing lives with it. So if you enjoyed the video, then please consider liking it, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and also share this video with others as well, because I want to spread the word on these videos. There are a lot of wannabe copywriters out there, or already established copywriters who are interested in these things, and if you can help me with this, I would definitely appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.